So we will go deeper to understand what we have done in the past. There should be a clarity about delusion and also the dispassion, the world outside, the real self, the knowledge and the method. Last session, we understood that our action effort since birth is to increase peace and happiness. All our efforts are directed to that and to live into that peace and happiness. I gave a simple example. We get a job to be happy and peace, but what happens? The paycheck does not give me peace and happiness. Getting paycheck is not equal to peace and happiness. We got a little pleasure. So every day, peace and happiness. So what is the conclusion? Peace and happiness are not the properties of anything in the world. Whether it is honey or the gadgets or my increased qualifications. I can put a signboard here that I'm PhD, I'm MBA, I'm doctor. It has nothing to do with peace and happiness. What mind imagines, and that imagination is the delusion. Why that imagines? So what happens that imagines? It builds a small I. And the small I always likes prayers. I have already, we discussed a lot. Prayers means the mind is looking for peace and happiness outside in the world. It imposes, it creates a sense of imagination. And the big I likes Shreyas. Shreyas means what is right and good. Right and good. Understand that. Once we understand, the life is going to change completely. So small I always likes prayers, big I always likes prayers. Me word. That me word contracts the mind, creates a delusion, causes emotional dependence, and then we fall back into the sin. What should we do? The first thing, I'm repeating that verse, alasasya kuto vidya. When I'm lazy, the knowledge is sleeping. And when the knowledge is sleeping, nothing can be attained. My life has to be organized. Avidasya kuto dhanam. I don't get the inner wealth of dispassion. I don't have a time to think even what is happening to me, why I fought with a person, why I reacted, why I'm agitated. I don't have a time to think. This is what is known as the laziness in the Eastern West. Laziness is not that, adhanasya kuto mitram. So, because of lack of that knowledge, I do not understand my inner wealth. I have an inner wealth. What is the inner wealth? I got agitated with you. So I return home. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking against you. I'm reacting against you. Huh? We have a keyboard, shift and delete. Just delete from your life. Only the knowledge can help you to delete that. Oh, I got hesitation. It is because of the small I. What I have to do? Everyone exists. We should not have that kind of a laziness to continue to prove that how uh, I got hesitated because of you only. You are responsible. Understand that. Clear. Nothing in the world can hesitate me. Why? I am existence. I am the real self. I am the peace and happiness. I should have that big ego. You have seen in these last 2 years, many people joined and many people left, and others are continuing. So, there is a saying in our teaching that do not teach who does not want freedom from the mind. Why? Because they do not know what they want in their life. I'm coming to that. If we do not teach, then how they can learn? I'm coming to that point. So, as long as a person keeps the small eye of eat, drink, and be merry, even if they attend the session continuously for 10 years, they will not learn anything. They are busy in their pleasure. Their mind is always busy. They don't want to know. It is because of the small I. So, what should we do? Leave them. If they join, very good. If they don't join, very good. Why? Because they are suffering from the three diseases. Do you remember the three diseases? Attachment and detachment, that leads to emotional dependence, and that results in sorrow and the suffering, anger, reaction, and hesitation. That is what the sin is. And ultimately, we are living in delusion. So, what our master says, it does not mean that we should not teach and guide them. It means when one is agitated, angry, obsessed, living with the three diseases, the teaching will not enter into their mind. We had a beautiful woman, She had complained about, I would say, 3 and 5 sessions. Everyone is getting such a good experience. I'm not getting it. It's a better to leave. She left. And after a few weeks, she said, she was in the email list. And ultimately, she wrote to me that you delete me from the email list. More like that is very important. Otherwise, the teaching will not be realized. We avoid argument. We welcome right dialogue and debate focused on the real self. One has to be a seeker who understands that suffering is caused by the three diseases, not by anyone in the world. That results into delusion, unhappiness, dissatisfaction, insecurity. So our master says what? Again I'm repeating. Vidya dadati vinayam. And knowledge leads to humility. And that humility is the capacity, ready, kindness, aware to know what I do not know. Take one example, simple. Yeah, today. Today, but uh, David and Jerry is not there in our session. It's just an example. And when they are there, I will say they are there. So if I do not know Jerry and David, I do not know their presence and absence. Are you getting it? I do not know their presence and absence. Sam is here. So it means I knew Sam before. That is why you say Sam is here, Lara is here. If I do not know, how can I say? So, but what is the humility here? Do I know real self? No, I don't know. How can I claim that there is no real self? Are you getting it? No. Yes. Oh, no worries, even if you are not getting it. You will be learning again. If I know this remote, I know the remote. That is the first thing. The presence and absence of this remote can only be known if I know it. So let me know the real self. Then only I can say it is not here, it is here. That is humility. Vidya dadati vinayam. And the humility leads to qualification. Then I know I am a seeker. I am not with the small I. Whenever the small I comes, I delete, shift and delete. Shift and delete from the life. Finish. Every day. Clean it. That is very important to, to awaken to the real self. Dadati vinayam dadati patratam patratvat dhanamapnoti. I get the inner wealth of discernment and dispassion, and that will take me to the right journey of this awakening. Next question comes: how we are available as a seeker and how we are not available as a non-seeker. We are going deeper. It came to me naturally. I don't know. Later on, I realized that. When Master used to teach, I used to sit steady. I used to get rid of the outer disturbances. I made myself available with the steady pose, with eyes focused on Him, to learn as if I'm welcoming. I welcome Him inside my mind. I'm relaxed. Entire focus is on gaining the knowledge. That is the journey of third chapter of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. But it says, asanam, sthira sukham asana. It is not an okay, steady and relaxed pose is asana. While saying that I am fidgeting, okay, and then I say, oh, that is the definition. It will not work. It has nothing to do with it. I have to live into that state. That makes me a seeker. So where lies the problem? Why it doesn't happen? The small I says it is my right. The right of the small I causes the disturbances. Are you getting it? Small I. One gets pain or pleasure from one person or one object or one situation or one event. Find out how my mind is upset. It is because of the expectation. What is that expectation? I invited an infection in my mind inside, causing triggers that builds my small ego. We create a separate identity, separate agenda. They are the symptoms of these diseases. That is why we have fear, we have anxiety, we have duality, we have karma. There is no right of ego to be a seeker. The moment I trust my right of the small ego, I become a non-seeker. I become a non-seeker. And when we are a non-seeker, you are listening and learning and, okay, I know, nothing happens. So one right is the right of ego. What is that right of ego? See that I'm such a old beard guy, you should respect me. This is small ego. Don't you see that? I have, I'm highly educated. It means what? What I'm saying? I'm simply saying that you have not learned anything. Small ego. Right of the ego, if you push in your relationship, in your daily life, you are a non seeker. One right is the right of ego. You should love me, respect me, praise me, appreciate me. We have a lot of expectations from others. So we have a kind of an arrogance. We make fun of ourselves. We make mockery of ourselves. So we, in Eastern wisdom, we teachers do not answer those people. Continue. How we do not answer? We deviate. So small ego says this situation or a person has made me irritable, reactive. There is nothing in the world that can irritate. And what is the right of a seeker? Seeker's attitude makes every situation, person, events in life to evolve, to remain in peace and calm. Shift and delete. Learn that. Instantly from your mind, shift and delete. There are always tough challenges in our life. Maybe difficult. Maybe someone wants to irritate you. Shift and delete. Shift and delete by being aware. If your mind is thinking that I should have been treated better in any situation, with your honey, with your friend, with your colleague, it is the small ego is working. So now we are going deeper in order to understand. So instantly, I should have been treated better. 6 feet body compared to the entire existence. And we are thinking we should have been treated better. Come on. It has it is totally insignificant. So when your dispassion makes you insignificant, you become significant. What we are learning, how to get rid of those three diseases. It has deep root in the small I. So there is a right of a seeker and there is a right of a ego that makes me non-seeker. Right of a seeker is discovering attitude. It is love for the sake of love. It is respect for the sake of respect. I meditate for the sake of meditation. Love for the sake of love. Respect for the sake of respect. What we say in the journey, that teacher always answers to a seeker, not a question from a person. So you see the entire journey of this Eastern wisdom. The teacher is focused to answer a seeker insight. You join the program because seeker is already inside. But because of the small ego, it is hidden. It is not a formal education. It is the subjective knowledge, demands humility, aspiration to know myself. Seeker knows, strives to get rid of the three diseases. Why it is so? Ask yourself. The teacher in the Eastern wisdom does not want that you should have a split personality. You say something outside, you're asking something different. Asking something different and keep something inside, holding back. It is already a conflict in you. That conflict must go. To get rid of the small I, to move from the prayers to Shreyas. If it doesn't happen, then you may be doing meditation for years together. It will not bring any change in our behavior and attitude. I believe you're getting it. So there comes the beautiful relationship at the conscious level between the master and the seeker. And that relationship continues until the awakening takes place. Until the awakening takes place. Just think of it in a series. Small I, prayers. Prayers, three diseases. Three diseases, sins. What is sin? I invite unfavorable circumstances, situation, conditions in my life daily. I need to delete. The world is full of opportunity. That existence is offering me peace and happiness here and now, provided I shift and delete. Are you getting it? Shift and delete. Why you didn't give respect to me? I'm highly educated. Why there is no appreciation? I have done so much for you. Really? Can you really do anything for anyone? Can we really do? Humility comes. No, I am totally an insignificant. Even by thinking in that way, you are merging, you are melting the small I. You are dropping the prayers. You are going too far from these three diseases of attachment and detachment, sorrow and suffering. Just think only one. One event in your life. No, I should have been appreciated. I'm not. Now you carry this thought. You do not shift and delete. You are disturbed for about a week until you are appreciated by someone in the near future. That heals the little wounds, but the infection remains. Do you see that? Infection remains. And that infection creates a series of mental habits and attitude and reaction. Until the mind is pure, we cannot succeed. This is the impurity of the mind. So what we are doing in this journey, we get rid of this small I. We want to replace it with the big I. Let us have a proud moment in my life that I follow the path of the Shreyas. I'm not expecting anything from you, from others. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Are you getting it? It is very important. So once that this movement of the big I takes place in the mind, what happens? That small I, unfavorable condition, reaction, expectation, they all drop from your mind. You are united with the existence at that very moment. You have already reached to the highest state of meditation. Where the only thing is that we don't realize. And that realization comes by learning these simple principles. link. Link. I told you, I gave you simple example of shift and delete. Every day in the morning, check yourself. Check yourself. Vidya dadati vinayam. The knowledge leads me to humility. Vinayam dadati patratvam. I've already given an explanation. That humility gives me a necessary qualifications to treat the path of Eastern wisdom and treat the path of life. Patratvat dhanamapanuti. It is definitely going to give you the inner and the outer wealth. Whether you want it and you don't want it, it will definitely give you. No, it will take some time. It will remove unfavorable conditions. I'm not saying that, oh, I didn't get $10 million that, I fixed the target. I'm not saying that. What existence feels depending on your capability, your ability, and the absence of small I, the result will definitely. It may take some time. No, I didn't get $10 million yesterday. No, I was thinking. I had what you told me that I had a big I. That is your small I speaking. Are you getting? Are you getting it? Your small I is speaking. You have an expectation from the world outside. You did not change your mindset. So the mind has set up you indirectly. You need a booster shot. Recently I studied, I was reading that we need another booster shot to prevent Omicron. Once that small I, whether you say delusion, you say three diseases, you say fear and anger and agitation must go from my life, you have to get rid of the small I. Don't exercise the right of the ego. Exercise the right of a seeker, and the life will change. Then you will learn, oh, I am already in the state of meditation. Did you get it? Oh, very easy, even if you don't get it, We are already learning. Slowly. So let us start our practice. Eyes are closed.